And here we are. This is the Afrobeat Cult, transmitting, multicasting right now. And we are between YouTube and Facebook. And if you are just joining in, a big welcome to you. It's a Wednesday afternoon out here. This is live from Helsinki, Finland. And we're reaching out straight to Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. And as we promised and as we have been advertising, the man himself, the legend, the icon living, we're talking about D1, is on standby right now in the green room. We will be bringing him on in a little bit. A really informative show for you. It's going to be really in-depth. It's going to be really special. So if you have any questions, if you have your own questions, we have I'm going to scare D1 right now. We have 10 pages of questions that we have lined up for him. So without much ado, let me just bring him on right now. Okay. Here we are. Hello, Mr. D1. If we can call you
Hello,
that.
my brother. How you doing?
Man, it's been ages. It's been ages, many long years that we have actually gotten together to do anything this grand. Well, grand for me because you are.
I know.
It's been a minute and then some.
Yeah, it's been some years, and it's good to see you.
Yeah. At least what most people don't know is that I have spoken to you in the background before now, not just once, several times. And the reason why I did that is because, you have been, even though we were, working together, you were my boss, you were my colleague, you were my friend, you were a brother, you were everything to me. Even after we kind of went into our own separate directions, I still kept in touch with you because there was something that was what you represented to me. And oftentimes when I would call you and ask you with my harebrained crazy ideas, D1 was always there to say, hey, calm down, relax. You remember? Hey, calm down, relax. Things don't work that way. Why don't you rethink it like this? Why don't you rethink it like that? So first and foremost, one of the questions that people have asked is, I'm going to put you on the spot now, is who is D1? What does D1 mean?
Wow. Well, I always like to tell people there are two facets to it, two characters to this. There's the Dayo Adene, that's the father, husband and gentleman that that has the hopes and aspirations of every other Nigerian and African. And then there's the D1, which you rightly mentioned, which is the character that I assume whenever I do my entertainment business, which is where radio, television, a bit of acting, and what else ever that I do in entertainment. So the D1 is the entertainment part of me, which I make sure I leave at the doorstep once I get to my house. So D1 is the character that I assume when I'm on radio, when I'm on TV. And so that I try to keep the two separate.
Okay, so D1 is basically your on-air personality for show business.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so now that we've cleared that, those that have asked that question, they'll be really happy to know that, because I don't think anybody has really asked you that before, have they?
Well, most people will say, what is the meaning of D1? What is the meaning of the name? And I always say, well, like Coca-Cola will never tell you what the formula for Coke is.
For Coke is,
just enjoy D1 and enjoy what it does.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so like I said, we have tons and tons of questions for you. We have pages of questions for you. I won't lie. So I've had to basically cut them down, and I'll start with the first one. How does one create and maintain a winning formula or brand when starting out in show business?
Wow. Um, there's no magic formula to it, to be honest with you. I would just give some words of advice. Number one being follow your passion. Find something you are passionate about. Find something that you would do, whether it's making you money or not, and put all your energy, all your effort, and all your waking time into it. Draw up a game plan, of course. Have a game plan. This is what I want to do in 6 months. This is what I want to do in 1 year. This is where I want to be in 5 years. Have a game plan. Um, See where you fit in, whatever community you're living in, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Lagos, whether it's Abuja, whether it's in Helsinki, whether it's in the US. Look at your community, look at your surroundings, look at your environment. Find out what is missing, something that you can supply. Is there a demand for something that's not being done? That's what we did when we came to Nigeria for radio and TV. At the time, all the stations that then were federal government owned. There were no private stations, and they all played the same thing. They all did supply the same. And we felt, wait a minute, there's a market, there's a demand for this. Nigerians would love to have something different. So find something that's not being done. See how you can supply that. See how you fit in. What can you give that will be different from what obtains now? You know, what's like I would tell Nigerian, what you are enjoying today, the Davidos and the Burna Boy and whatever that was started, or the seeds of it were planted some 2 decades ago by people like myself, yourself, Steve Disley Kadiri, who believed that
Rest in peace, Steve.
there was no local content to radio. So instead of playing Tupac, Shakur, Michael Jackson every day, why don't we support the homegrown talent?
Yeah.
So there was a demand. Let's say there was a window that we could plug into, and that's what you need to do. So I don't have a magic formula for success or for creating it, but those little details will help you get to your desired destination.
D1, there's something that I want to ask you about. I did a bit of background on you, based on a lot of stuff that have been written, and there was something that struck me. This is just an off the cuff kind of remark that I want to make, right? Did you attend, this is a true or false one, did you attend Federal School of Arts and Science?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did for a few months, less than a year. When I left Ijebu Grammar School, at that time, Nigeria only had I think 12 universities, 12 or 13 universities. There were 13 states, and each state had a university. So even if you had the best results, you might not be able to get into. So I was one of those who was not fortunate enough to get enrollment into the university at that time. So my parents suggested that, okay, you know what? Rather than sit at home, why don't you go to HSC and do HSC, which was what FSS was. So I went there, but I was not really convinced. I felt, look, why would I waste 1 or 2 years going to HSC? I'm good enough to go to university. So I did it reluctantly, but I have to tell you, I think I did about 9 months there. It was some of the best years of my life. The friends I made there at Federal School of Arts and Science, Victoria Island, Lagos. Some of their friends that I still keep till today.
Wow. The reason why I asked is because I tried to get into that school. My dad, my old man, he said, no way, no, because that is in his words, that is where you're going to get ruined for life. So, so he did not even let me apply. He did not let me think in that direction. So did I miss anything?
Well, you missed a lot.
Darn it.
You missed a lot. I mean, at that time, FSS was the school. I mean, if you're in Lagos and you could get into FSS, you have to know people, you have to be connected to get into FSS. But those of us that were fortunate, I'm talking about late Dollar Bangboye to, the list goes on. Even Governor Sanwo-Olu, the current governor of Lagos State, attended FSS.
Oh my goodness, man.
I mean, we formed a close-knit bond
Yeah.
that
I mean,
still
yeah.
reverberates till today. We are still friends. We still reach out to each other. Um, yes, FSS was quite the place
Quite
to be.
something, huh?
Yeah,
Darn it.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's get back to the business of the business. Right. So we have another question, and it has to do with entertainment. We know about all the glitz, the glam, all the shiny stuff. Are there any dark corners when it comes to entertainment? Are there any dark corners that one should look out for, especially if you're just starting out or you're already in the business and there's some things that you might miss? I mean, looking at it from your eye, I mean, you have seen quite a lot coming up to where you are right now. Are there any dark corners that one should look out for in the business?
It's hard to predict. You have to be prepared. But in entertainment business, people will try to take advantage of you. But that's just like any other business. You will get used. You must be prepared to be used. But you too will also use other people. You're going to use somebody's talent. Either you're a talent manager, or even if you are the artist, you will need somebody to write songs for you. You will need somebody to produce for you. You will need somebody to market your works. So whether you are a singer, an actor, an actress, or whatever it is, you will be used. Somebody will use you to get to the next level, or you will need to use people to take you to that stardom or fame and fortune that you want. You will need somebody to invest in you.
Yeah.
The dark aspect of it is, will they remain loyal to you? The artists might not stick around long enough for you to recoup your investment.
Yeah.
Once they blow, like we say, once they blow,
Yeah, they
they
go.
believe, oh, I can do it. I can do it on my
I do
own.
it myself.
So the
Yeah, yeah,
artist that was begging you yesterday to be signed to
yeah.
your label,
Yeah.
once he's selling out concerts and shows, he now believes that, oh, I don't need you anymore. So those are some of the dark areas that makes it really a bit hard to swallow for people who invest in entertainment. They believe, oh,
Yeah.
I invest my money, my time, my sweat. How do I recoup my investment?
Yeah.
You get the fame, you get the fortune. What's in it for me, the investor, or the record label, or the manager? So those are some of the areas that are still not yet defined in our part of the world.
Okay. Something happened. Another bit of information that is circulating is everywhere. Once you hit Google with D1, tons of information comes up. Now there was something I read, and somewhere along the line, especially with what you just said now about how you invest your time, your energy, financial, you name it. I know that you lost quite a bit in terms of not just physical stuff. Based on the information that I got, but also emotionally and mentally, you get drained, putting in so much of it into it. Now, the part that triggered my senses, so to speak, was the one where you said all of a sudden you had to tell people that you haven't been paid for this 7 months. All right. You realize how broke you are, and so much happened. So when I read that part, I kind of laughed because I understood what you had gone through. I understood where you were coming from. And how did you manage that? I'm sure at some point you felt like, is this all worth it? What kept you going?
Well, I mean, remember I said at the beginning, find something you're passionate about, and you never have to work a day in your life. If you're passionate about what you're doing, really, initially, it might not make much of a difference to you whether you're getting paid for it or not, because it's something you love doing. You would do it whether they wake you up at 2 a.m. in the morning or you're working till 11, 12 midnight. You would do it. You and I know what we did in the days of early radio. We were just committed to it. We were just having fun.
We're just there. It was fun.
We were just there because it was something new. We were dedicated to it. We were working around the clock. We didn't even know how hard we were working because we enjoyed it. That being said, we also have to be cognizant of the fact that you have to put food on the table. You have, for those of us at that time, I had a wife and a child to look after, and also aging parents. And that's what made me realize that, wait a minute, I'm broke, because my father came to my house one day and he asked for money, and I said, I've not been paid, I'm sorry, I can't. And he didn't believe me. He said, you a whole D1, you can't give me so. I said, sir, the name is there, but
But
the money never
the
arrived.
people,
But sincerely, if you follow your passion
mm,
and you believe in your dream,
yeah,
put in all your efforts. If you put food on your, and
mm,
look, examples abound. Linda Ikeji will tell you she used to go to a cyber cafe to go write
yeah,
her blogs.
blogs,
And look
yeah,
at her today.
yeah,
So there are numerous examples. Find your passion and follow
mm,
it with all your heart and all
big
your
time.
energy.
Big time. So those of you who have just joined in now, I'm with D1, the legendary D1. Now, a lot of people I've gathered most of these questions from different people. So the next one has to do with something very current, which has to do with social media, with the explosion of often brutal nature of social media. How do you deal with criticism? How do you
Criticism?
deal? Yes, you will get backlash over something you said that you didn't realize that you meant it in that way. How do you handle that?
Well, the best thing is some things you have to ignore. They say when you ride a tiger, you should be very careful. Social media, like my former boss, the former governor of Ogun State, will say,
Yeah.
you can call it a weapon of mass development or a weapon of mass destruction. It can be used to build, it can also be used to destroy. So to get that fame and fortune these days, people depend on social media, whether it's Snapchat or TikTok or whatever. People looking for fame or looking even for fortune. They depend on social media. But that same social media is also, like I said, it could be a weapon of mass destruction. It could be used to destroy you. The day you slide and make a simple mistake, it can come back to bite you.
To bite you, yep.
The same social media that you post all your outings, whether you are in the toilet or you are eating or you are getting married or you got engaged or you're doing your birthday or your anniversary, you are using the same social media to promote and do. The same social media will be used on your way down the day you and your fiancé separate or the day you people have a fight. It will be used to propagate the same thing again. So one has to be very, very, very careful. That being said, there's some things you must develop thick skins.
True, very true.
Once you say you're looking for fame and fortune, you're an artist, you're a singer, and you are signed on to social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, and you start getting followers. They are following you for a reason. They want interesting stories about you, whether it's negative or positive. They want to hear something about you. So you have to be very careful. You also have to develop thick skin. The same followers that love you today can hate you tomorrow.
Yep.
So just
Very,
like Nigel, they will say, the same mouth they used to hail you, now they go take abuse you. But personally, I don't spend too much time on social media. I understand that it's a necessity in this world that we live in now. But I'm very careful about what I put on social media. I don't put too much personal stuff. I don't put too much of my personal life, unless it's work related or we're just having fun. And I try not to keep it light, nothing heavy that,
Yeah, it's distracting them. Now, I want to tell you a secret. This is between me and you. Don't tell anybody, okay? Nobody's going to know about this, right?
Yeah, just the two of us.
Just the two of us. There are two reasons why I found you interesting when we're working together, when we're still at Dark Communications. And I never told you this, but there were two things. Every time I would come to the radio station, you remember that both places were within the same yard, within the same compound, right? So I would come to the radio station. If I didn't hear you laughing, if I didn't hear your voice, I know that D1 is not around. So it was you, that laughter. It was very, 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 very different from any other. So that was very significant. And I see you're the kind of person who you're usually smiling. I've never, ever seen you angry.
Wow.
Never.
Thank you.
You have a unique laughter. Yeah. That you have a really unique laughter, and I've never seen you angry. So that is amazing.
They still tell me that till today. I don't know. I don't know what's unique about it, but I am one of those people. I laugh to get people around me to relax.
Yeah.
I also find it comforting and relaxing as well to laugh. It's easier to laugh than to frown. And look, life in itself is it's too tough. Life is tough in itself. So why go around smart, frowning? And so I'd rather just laugh. Adopt this motto. These two
Mm.
shall pass. Whatever it is that
Yeah.
you're going through, have a laugh. These two
Mm.
shall pass. Whether you are broke, you've not eaten since morning, just laugh, lighten up.
Okay.
These two shall pass. And that's why
Uh,
I just take it
that's how
light.
you
I
get back.
laugh
Yeah.
and,
Mm. And that's
you
one.
know,
Then the second one was I tried as much as possible to adopt this from you. Okay. The second one was your shoes.
oh,
D1's
really?
shoes are always spot on.
Really?
D1's shoes. I always looked at your shoes. Your shoes reminded me of that the movie James Bond, when James Bond is wearing his whites and whites, they will beat James Bond and beat him and beat him. He will still stand up and his whites will be
It's
stainless.
impeccable.
Every day I'll be looking at his shoes. How does he do it?
I'll tell you what, I used to have a professor. I mean, from a
Yeah,
young age, I've always loved fashion, to be honest with you. I've
yeah,
always
yeah,
loved fashion.
yeah,
I mean, I could, my clothing doesn't have to be expensive. I
yeah.
like the name brands, of course, but,
Mm,
you know, just keep it simple. Like my professor would say, keep it simple, stupid, KISS.
yeah.
But the same professor also told us you can learn a lot about a man from his shoes.
Okay.
If you're going on a date, the first thing a woman does is they look at your shoes. Your shoes tell a
Okay.
lot about you. If your shoes are bent on one side, you will not say Sakpa, they hold you. If your shoes are not polished, the woman will know that this one is his bedroom is
This
probably
one
not
is
neat.
there's still hope.
So your shoes tell a whole lot about you.
Mm,
And my professor
yeah,
would always hammer that. You are going on an interview, you're looking for a job, you're writing a proposal. You can't
yeah.
write a proposal for 50 million and then you
Mm.
enter the office and
With
your shoe is
your
looking,
shoes.
the man will come look at you like that. This one never ready for this contract.
So because of that, I'd like to say a big thank you. Thank you for helping me organize my shoe game, and I tried as much as possible to keep every day as happy as possible. Right. So
It's
those are very,
necessary.
very important things that I picked up from you. So after I met you, we hung out a bit. I use that as an example to always try to be as presentable and as neat as possible, so that even if you're hurting on the inside, you don't have to always throw it out there and make everybody else suffer. And remember that
Exactly.
signboard at the radio station that used to say that no matter, I can't remember how it goes now.
Even on your worst day,
Bless
the
you,
show
bless
must go
you,
on.
bless you. That one, it's still here. It's still here. So thank you for all of that. Now let's go to relationships. Yeah.
Mhm.
This man. How is it? What is the key? How do you keep? How do you do it? What is it? I'm still trying to figure both of you out. You sometimes you would come to meet us at when we're doing the shows on the road.
Grand Slam.
Yes. All of a sudden, you guys would just appear, and then all of a sudden, the energy, because it was work. It was every week. It was work. But the minute you guys show up, it's like, yeah, let it party. How do you guys do it? How do you keep up the energy? How do you keep the relationship going? As I
Um,
know that there are rough days, obviously, with every friendship, with
oh,
every. So how do you do it?
um,
What's the key?
I tell people, um, look, we're two distinct individuals, no matter what, whether we've been able to keep that friendship for so long, we're still two distinct individuals with individual needs, but we find common ground. Um, our friendship means a lot to us. We were friends when there was nothing, when we had nothing, when we were
Yeah.
students. That's how when we
Mm,
met. When we were
yeah.
students with nothing to show for it. We were drinking gari, eating bread and sardine in school.
Yeah.
But we realized that, look, we're heading in the same direction. And they say when you're
Mm,
going on a journey, it's easier when you find somebody that's going the same direction as you to keep you company. So that rather than walk alone, why don't you let this person or you tag along with that person and continue that journey together?
You go farther,
You go farther, and you know, somebody to encourage you when you are down, somebody you will encourage when they are feeling. So that's the basis of our friendship. We share a lot of common interests. We share a lot of the same values, but most importantly, we don't put anything above our friendship. Yes, we fight, we argue, we disagree.
That's normal.
We disagree to agree. If I'm upset about something, it makes me realize that, look, I'm making that decision with you in mind. And the same thing, if I make a decision that it doesn't agree with, he still understands that whatever I'm deciding about, it's still for his benefit. So if that's the case, then you know, whether you are going through this destination or you are going through this destination, the important thing is for us to arrive in the same place where we want to. So we keep it simple. We keep it very, very simple. And we respect each other. That's paramount. Respect for each other. So even if I don't agree with you, I can respect your point of view and I can respect your opinion. And we don't let it degenerate to anything.
Into something,
But I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay.
Before my father died, when we were a lot younger, in our early days of Repower, he called the two of us and he said, look, I can tell that you guys are really close. You like each other. You're always together, blah, blah, blah. But let me give you one piece of advice. He said, there are only two things that always cause division between friends. Two things. And this is for everybody out there, including you. He said, look, either money or woe. He said it in Yoruba. He said, owo and obìnrin.
Okay.
Two things that always, if you find two friends fighting and you ask them what is the cause of the fight, it's usually money
or woman.
Or women. So we said, if you ever get into that situation, the two of you are fighting over, he said, what? Share. I said, what do you mean by money? Yes, we can share. What do you mean? He said, my advice for you is very simple, share. And we've never fought since then. We've always, you understand what I mean? If you get it, you get it.
I know. If you know, you know.
So,
okay, before I get into trouble for not following through with the questions that I'm supposed to go through. Okay. What key weaponry should a person interested already in show business or media always have in order to stay relevant?
Look, you have to keep abreast of trends. It doesn't mean you should jump on every trend that's going on, but you should keep abreast. But most importantly, you must be able to reinvent yourself frequently. You must be able to reinvent yourself. I mean, examples of, look at King Sunny Ade.
Yeah. Oh.
Who's been playing for 50 years.
Oh.
You know, if it's your music, it changes the music to go with the times.
Yeah.
It changes his band members to go with the times. It changes his dressing, his outlook, his speech, or his singing to relate with the times and even carry the young ones along. Your image, look at P. Diddy. I mean, he went from Puff Daddy to Diddy to P. Diddy to Diddy to Puffy. So you must constantly reinvent yourself. Your works as well, you must keep up to date. You must stay in tune with changes around you if you want to continue to be relevant for a long time. You can't say, oh, that's the way we've always done it. That's the way we've always done it. You will get left behind. So you must continue to reinvent yourself. You must keep up with the times. Find out what's going on. What are the young ones listening to? What makes them tick? And see what, I'm not saying, you must change your whole vibe and your whole game, but if you can infuse bits and pieces into what you do, into your branding, then you will continue to be relevant for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So that's very, very important. Now, talking about relevance, being relevant, talking about time, talking about change, what 5 things would you have done differently or told D1 of 1995 so you could achieve better results faster?
One, I probably would have started much earlier.
Okay.
I probably would have started my professional career. I don't have any regret with the way things went about,
Mm,
um, but I would have started my entertainment career much
mm,
earlier. I would have told D1 in 1995, go for it,
yeah.
have no reservations, go all
Mm,
out, go full
mm,
throttle. They always say hindsight is always the best.
yeah. Yep.
Um, I would say go all out, put
Mm,
everything in it, put 110% in it,
mm,
continue to believe. Even though when we went into entertainment, we went into music, we had no
yeah.
doubts that it was going to blow, it was going to be big. And we have always said it, that
Oh, you
look,
knew
we're
that
just
from day one.
scratching, we are just scratching. Look, Nigeria is a country of 200 million people.
Mm,
If Jamaica, with a population of 3 million,
mm,
can sell reggae to the globe,
maybe.
we, the biggest black nation on earth,
Mm,
the biggest black nation on earth, we can sell Afrobeats, we can sell juju, we can
mm,
sell hip hop, we can sell it to the world.
mm,
So I've never had any doubt that we can sell whatever we choose to sell, we can sell it to the world.
yeah.
So
Mm,
go all out. Um, but most importantly, and I've said it before, because when I was younger, I used to be troubled. What about tomorrow? And what would I
yeah.
do? When will I get my car?
Yeah.
Just remember, everything has its due season.
Mm, mm,
Everything
mm.
will come at the right time.
Wow.
You and I
Wow.
know how we worked hard
Yes.
during our
Yes.
days at Darkom.
Yes.
No regret. So,
No, no,
but
no, not at all. Not at all. I mean,
when Baba
this
God
is,
said,
yes,
it's time
it's
for
your
you, my
time.
son, too.
It is. It is. It is.
So,
Boom. Mm,
everything with its time and season. And lastly, this too shall pass. Whatever it is,
yes.
D1 that you are going through,
Yeah.
this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Just stick with your game plan,
Mm,
stick with your formula, continue to work hard, continue to help your fellow man. Because
mm,
look, the young boys that we were trying to help at the beginning of this thing, talking
mm-hmm.
about Idris, Tony, and Eddie Remedy, we were just trying to help them. We snuck them into the Ray Power Studios to produce them.
Yep.
We
Yep. Yep.
didn't
Yep.
know that would be the foundation for Kenny's music. That would be the
Mm,
foundation for Nigerian entertainment as it is
yeah.
today.
Mm,
So
mm,
keep playing your part, keep playing, doing what you know how to do best, and everything will work out. That's what I would tell
mm.
myself in 1995.
Wow, that's brilliant. That is absolutely, those are golden nuggets right there. So if you're listening, if you're seeing this afterwards, so this is D1 dishing it out to you direct. And now, off the questions a little bit, right? These questions. What do you listen to? I'm making a wild guess here now, okay? What do you listen to when you are not either listening to the new music, what's going on, or when you are on your own, when you have the D1 moment? What are you
Oh
listening
man, if you're ever in my car or
to?
you're in my house when I'm alone or by myself,
Yeah.
I listen to the oldies, man. If I'm not listening to Haruna Oshola, I'm listening to Ayila Omowura. I'm listening to
Oh my,
classic
oh my goodness.
Obey
Wow,
classics,
wow, yeah,
Sonny
yeah,
Ade
yeah.
classics. Or maybe on Sundays I feel like relaxing, then I listen to
Mm.
Bob James and I listen to a lot of jazz. But I'm an
Wow.
old school type of guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the oldies.
Uh,
I have all Obey's,
mm,
you know,
mm.
Obey's old classics.
Okay, okay, okay. I guess that's very relaxing. Is this something that you picked up from your parents, your dad?
Yes, definitely. Yes. The
You were
songs
quite
that we
close to
grew up
him.
listening to,
Mm.
our parents on weekends, they'll put the
Yeah,
latest record from Obey, or
yeah.
maybe you are going to church, they put
Mm.
one nice King Sunny Ade, or you are
Yeah, yeah,
traveling to
yeah,
Ijebu,
yeah, yeah.
so those are the
Sound
things that I
listening.
grew up listening to
Mm,
and still reverberates with me.
mm.
Yes, we play hip hop, we promote Afrobeats for a living, but
Yeah.
when I'm in my own zone,
Mm.
I do
That's it.
old school. Yeah.
Okay. How do you know when a project, an artist, or something that you're working on is definitely not going to work out? How do you perceive it? Because you said passion, right? But there's some people that will follow the passion until it leads them into a rabbit hole that they would never get out of. How do you determine immediately that, okay, you know what?
Let me flip it around and say, how do you know if somebody is going to make it? So that way you will know if they're not going to make it. If somebody comes at you, is not the best talent,
Yeah.
He doesn't have the best voice, doesn't have the best dancing skills, he's not the best songwriter, but he brings 110% to the table. You know, there's that it, we call it the it factor.
Yeah. Yeah.
IT, just the it factor. You will know that this person just, maybe the person has called you 100 times. Ah,
Yeah.
bros, listen to my CD now, bros, listen to my demo. And you keep saying, look, I don't have time. The guy shows up in your office. He sits there for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
He says, look, we'll come back next week. He says, okay. He comes back the next day again. So the person has hustle, what we call hustle. He has perseverance. This person wants to make it no matter what. So the person is not relying only on talent, which a lot of people do. They just rely on their talent. And sometimes talent will fail you.
Yeah.
Everybody has talent. We all have talent. You have talent. I have talent. Everybody has talent. But what else do you bring to the table besides your talent? And that's how we decide, oh, this boy can also. Okay, if we just support, it will ride it out. Yeah. Some will just depend on their talent and say, oh, because I have a good voice, you, the record label, go and do the rest. And those are very, very difficult people to work with. Those are very, very difficult people to sustain because, even if your talent doesn't desert you, people get tired of having to, prop you up.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, so it's too much of a baggage.
Whether it's in entertainment or any other business that I do, before I employ someone, I look for that it factor that, okay, this person really wants this and wants it very badly.
What do you think of the way artists, the entertainment, the show business environment space is right now? What do you think of all the enhanced? Because I remember back then, even till today, if I want to sit down and drink beer with my dad, I have to think about it twice. Am I really going to do this in front of him? We would watch how the only people that do those things are those people that are over on that side. Is the Fela, is the Bob Marley. But now it's like a common trend. It's normal that everybody's doing it. So therefore, what do you think about what is happening now within the show business world? That it's just the way it is. Is it something that you would condone? What is that? Do you have a statement on that issue, or you would just let it pass?
Look, it is what it is. I think a lot of it we blame on social media. Okay. This generation doesn't have the respect and the reverence that we had for our folks or people older than us. If I run into Sonny Rabo, for instance, I know you understand. If I run into Patrick Oke or Uncle Olu Jacobs, the reverence and the respect that we would accord them, these young ones don't accord us. They feel because I have a Rolls Royce. I've sold out O2 Arena, so I don't need to greet anybody. Some of them will walk past you. I can't walk past the King Sonny Ade. I'm not stop and wait for him to pass and prostrate and say, sir. That reverence, the way we held our elders in high esteem. These young ones, they've not bought into that culture. Mindset. But we need to reinforce it, and we need to. It's part of our culture. It's not just So
there's no getting away from it. Yeah, we have to bring them back to that space. Now you have conquered. Let's just say, allow me to prop you up on this one. You have conquered. No. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. That smile again. Oh my goodness. So, forgive me. So you have conquered show business. You have conquered entertainment. I mean, you guys are killing it when it comes to the FM station right now. Kenny's FM. You're there. Your presence is. You're relevant. You're there. You're making things happen. What is this? I keep seeing something on the internet. What is this new thing that's coming up? Is this still a secret?
It will be unveiled on the 19th, which is just a matter of days. It's a big deal. It's taking it to the next level. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag because it's going to be a big unveiling. We're going to have our sponsors and our backers. But Kenny's music is coming out. It's called Kenny's Music Bites. And you're going to be seeing Kenny's music prime time in a whole new light. We're talking about reaching out to 80 million people. we're going to be celebrating people who have celebrated us and
Yeah.
even much more. So keep it locked. I wish I could tell you more, but
you're not leaving me out. Oh, no way. Me now that you have said something, I'm holding you by your leg, by your trouser. You know me. I'm not letting you
as
go.
a matter of fact, we will link you up when we do the launch on the 19th. You will definitely be piped in, and we would like for you to participate and join us on this quest, on this journey.
Amen. I'm on board 110%. Like I've always been with you, and I know that you're really busy. I will look forward to that. Everything that you guys drop in that direction, I will grab it and talk about it and push it forward. So
thank you. We would appreciate that.
D1, I don't know if you still have more time, but I'm sure that I have basically exhausted most of everything that I was given to ask you. There are a few other things I would like to, but those ones I feel that you don't need to. But essentially, what we're going to recap on is the fact that in order to get started, you have to follow your passion based on the things that you have said. And then you have also said that because a lot of people, for instance, the internet, where they say, okay, there's criticism, then they attack back, they fight back, and all those kind of things. So all those we have taken note of. And based on that, I'd like to say a big thank you, my brother, for joining me today and sparing so much time. And I will keep my shoes clean as usual. Hey, there's something that happened. As always, there's something that happened a couple of years back when I had to take your spot for AIT Jams. I don't know if you remember that period.
Yeah.
I had to take your spot for AIT Jams. I was so embarrassed because I wasn't ready. How do you feel? Those are the things that went through my head. How do I feel this space that a legend, that an icon has started? It was scary. It was daunting. People didn't know that. And I don't know if I did you disservice. I don't know. I never got feedback, but I tried as much as possible. I always told Babakura, not the shoes. Not the shoes. Camera up. No.
No, let me tell you, my late father always said, no matter how good a dancer you are, you must leave the floor at one point. as badass as Michael Jackson was, when it was time to step aside, he had to step out. James Brown was a precursor. James Brown did his thing, Michael Jackson came, did his thing, Chris Brown came, did his thing. So you must hand over the baton. You can't be on the stage forever. So one understands that, and you must be ready for that. Yes, you can lay the foundation, but somebody will lay the bricks. Somebody will put the roof on it. You might not even be the one to live in the house. But once you understand that, you're just part of the process, and you understand that. But that being said, let me commend you as well. I, for one, remain one of those people that's been very, very proud of your exploits. You did not rest on your oars that, I have a famous father, rest on my father's. You've gone out and you've done your thing, and you've succeeded in your own right.
Amen. Thank you.
You've not let that name down. So I must commend you as well.
Thank you. Coming from you, that's big.
One time anybody the Yorubas will say, when your child does well, commend them. So I must say congratulations to you. We are very proud of what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
You continue to propagate that legacy of those of us that left our communications and are thriving and are doing well. So congratulations to you as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What do you predict for the industry in the next Afrobeats, for instance? All of a sudden, it's all over Europe. It's all over. How do we keep it going? How do we own it? How do we hold it as our own? Or is it something that we're going to lose at some point?
Look, we're just scratching the tip. I said, we're just scratching the tip.
Okay.
Some are going to come after Burna Boy. Some are going to come after Whiskey. That are going to be playing at the Grammy. They will not just be playing on the side of being nominated. They will be playing at the Grammy. They will be the main acts. They will be playing at Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You heard that first, yo. You heard that first, yo.
Look, it just reminds me the first Nigerian artist that we took to the Grammys. We took Two-Face, we took Late Goldie, we took J1, we took And they were always amazed, like, "Ah, wow, this is good." I said, no, calm down. One day,
Relax.
you two, you'll be playing here. One
Yeah.
day, you'll be nominated
Mm,
here.
yeah.
One day, you'll be performing on this stage.
Mm,
It was hard to envision for them, but look at it
yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Fireboy DML performed at BET Awards just
Yes.
last week.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So we always envisaged, we always dreamt about this, and
Mm,
we always thought at this trajectory, it's very, I mean, it's going to come to pass. So
mm,
some are still going to come. Yes, Burna Boy, they are mega stars. Wizkid
yeah.
is a huge star, but some are going to come after them that are going to be, they're going to blow this thing out of the water.
Mm. So
Mark my words.
you have a thank you from Frank Ayasi. D1, thanks for AIC jams back in the day. So this he lives here in Helsinki, and you know, they have been following you. They know all the stuff that you've been up to and all that. So they're, you know, sending their greetings. So that's where most of the questions
Thank
came
you,
from
Frank.
folks.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Frank.
So that's it. So, my brother, I will leave you here now. I know that I still want to ask you so many questions, but I'll let you go. But once again, thank you very much for coming, finding time, and being here with me on today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, D1, the legendary D1. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ehi. Thank you. Stay
Bye.
blessed.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
And there you have it, the legendary D1 with me right here on. Wow, that's amazing. So much information to take down, so much to digest at this point. But of course, the show will continue, and we have so many other things to talk about today. But big thank you to D1 for being a part of it and for sharing all the golden nuggets that he had to offer today. I'm sure we will, like he said before, there's so much other things that he's going to be letting out of the bag, and you will get to know about it. We'll let you in on it as soon as we get it. This is the Afrobeat Cult, and the show continues in a little bit. Now, before we do that, remember, do subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Hit the like button for us. Let us know if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Much appreciated. And this is what I want to talk about right now. I want to go into this. We have something called amazing African customs. Let's know a few things about Africa, our Africa, a few things that, you know, you might not have thought of, but do exist within our community. Now, this is what perhaps the first one would be something to do with a part of Africa that most of us don't know about. So many things are happening across the continent, so many amazing things across the continent that we are not aware of. So maybe I would like to share some of it with you. Now, one of the things that we do know is that when it comes to festivals, Africa is one of the biggest continents that offers loads and loads of different kinds of festivals that people get involved with, and one of them is from Malawi. Now, this one is called the Chewa Festival, and it's from Malawi. Now, a lot of this information comes from stuff that we gathered online. Now, if it's not exact, please feel free to get in touch with me and make the corrections and let us know if we got it wrong. Now, the Chewa community is a Bantu tribe, mostly found in Malawi. During the burial ceremony of a tribe member, it is customary for the body of the deceased to be washed. The corpse is taken to a sacred place where the cleansing is done by slitting the throat and pouring water through the inside of the dead. The water is then squeezed out of the body until it comes out clean. The water is then collected and used to prepare a meal for the whole community. Whoa. Another one comes from Sharo, which is the Fulani people. Now, the Fulani people, you can find quite a few of them in West Africa. The Sharo people, a lot of them are in West Africa, and one thing that about them is that the Fulani tribes practice Sharo before getting married. Here, the groom is beaten by the older members of the community so as to earn a wife and respect. If the man is not strong enough to bear the pain, the wedding is called off. Now imagine if the in-law is called into the setting to come and give the beating. Wow. The next one is from Uganda. They're the people of Banyankole. Now, remember what I said, that if indeed these are not exactly accurate, please feel free to get in touch with us and let us know what the real story is all about. In the Banyankole tribe, a minority tribe living in Uganda, this is what happens. Marriage is quite a burden for the bride's aunt. And when a couple are about to get married, the bride's aunt has to have sex with the groom as a potency test to certify the groom. She also has to test the bride's virginity. Oh dear. And from Ethiopia comes the next one. In Ethiopia, young boys have to undergo some form of ritual to prove their manhood. This involves a series of events. A young boy has to strip naked. Oh, no. Yes, indeed. A young boy has to strip naked, run, jump, and land on the back of a cow. This is then followed by running across the backs of several bulls arranged in a straight and closely knit herd, pulled by the tail and horns by older men. The practice is known as hamar. Now, the problem with that perhaps is if you land wrongly, then that is loads of pain. Another very amazing custom in Africa is wife inheritance. Basically, what this is that a ritual is a ritual when the husband passes away due to an unfortunate or, well, sometimes fortunate death. The husband's brother is responsible for his dead brother's wife. He can inherit the dead brother's wife and live a married life with a female. This is done to strengthen the bonds of the family. Now, I'll fall back on this one. Could this also be a crime case? What if this dude and the woman caused the man's death? And this one is another one. This is perhaps the last one that we have on today's list. This is an exclusive display of pageantry. This is an event conducted in the month of June and July. Several months before the event starts, the tribal men isolate themselves to prepare for the event. They drink a healthy mixture of cow milk and cow blood extensively. Each family or clan represents an unmarried man. The man with the fattest belly wins the competition, and his chance of finding a wife increases with the title. This is the Afrobeat called right here, coming to you live both on Facebook and on YouTube. Now, our guest today has been the legendary D1, and he has given loads and loads of good advice for you. So, the best thing for you to do later on, you can go back and watch everything that has transpired today. I am Ehin Akimio, and we have so much going on in the Afrobeats world this period, this summer. And one of the things that we have noticed also is the fact that there's so many Afrobeats artists touring Europe, touring the US, going everywhere representing. Now, a friend of ours, which most of you probably know if you are in the Afrobeats space, will know this man. He's called Alex Ozone. Now, he has an artist who I think is really aspiring, is really up and coming, is one that you guys should go check out. His real name is Chinonzo Emmanuel Ome, better known as J Wills. He will be touring Europe. He's on tour right now. Oh, well, he's being booked to go on tour right now, and I'll put up what we have of him here. This is
yes, so
here with your man.
And I don't see her. And I don't see her. International role boy. Europe, are you ready now? We're coming to a city near you. All the promoters, big shout out to you.
Choke.
And that's him, J Wills, right there on starting his tour quite soon. So if you are a promoter across Europe, hook up with, the point with Ozone is that there is not a dull moment when it comes to Ozone and his tours. So it is something that perhaps you want to hook up with. J Wills is has loads of songs out there, and one of the ones, there's this album that he has right now, the EP, which is called Sunflower. Go listen to all the tracks there. They're amazing tracks in there. So because of copyright issues, we cannot drop most of them here right now. So that's it but for today and for now. This is the Afrobeat Cult, and a big thank you to D1 once again for taking time out to come and speak to us, to be part of today's show. Until next time when we come again, we're going to be on air again on Friday. We have another guest coming. We'll let you know as the days go by. I'm Ehin Akimio, and from me to you, goodbye.